whole idea of the pass rush, and I'll tell you this, there's no substitute for your passion for it. Number one thing in pass rush is you got to have the desire to do whatever it takes to get to the quarterback. That's every play, right? You got to play with that intensity. You've got to create that in yourself, because I know you're going to be hot, you're going to be tired. September games, you're playing nights like this. By the time you get to the fourth quarter, you're worn. You're tired. On a pass, you just soon see the guy throw the ball on a bubble screen, another cornerback tackle him so you can get back to the huddle and get your breath. Well, that ain't the guy I want on the field. That ain't the guy you want to be on the field, right? So it's all about your desire and passion. That's number one. You can use really crappy moves with really high intensity and really strong desire, and you still get the quarterback. I've seen some pass rushers that their techniques are very sloppy, but they have an incredible desire, incredible motive to get there, so they get there. Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
When we talk about pass rush, we've already talked about this a little bit, but you got to develop a primary move, which is the move that you ought to, if I come wake you up at 3 in the morning out of a dead sleep and show you a pass set, that ought to be the move you go to. That's your primary move. You have to have a primary move. Off of that, you have to have a complementary counter to it. So if the guy that you're playing against, and you've shown him this primary move 6-8 times during a game, and he's a good offensive lineman, he learns to counter it, you've got to have an immediate counter. Both of those are habitual. When you hit one, if it's not there, you roll into the other. So you have a primary and a primary counter. And you're going to have a secondary move, which is complementary to your primary move, but is not a counter. Okay? It's an initial move off the line. I've got it in my head. I know what I'm going to do. Right? I've been beating him with my primary. I think he's going to try to jump my primary, so now I'm going to use my secondary against him. I've got him figured out. I've got him thinking. He's doing what I want him to do now. So I'll use my counter, or not my counter, but my secondary move on this rush to confuse him. Right? So the secondary move complements the primary move, and then you have to have a counter for your secondary move as well. We never go into a pass rush situation. We go into it knowing exactly what we're going to do. That's in our head, in our stance. I'm down in my stance. I know I'm going to club rip that outside shoulder, and that's all he's going to see is one big club rip, and I'm buying. That's my primary, and I'm going with it. If he catches the primary,